Superman Doomsday was a DC Comics animated movie that focused on the adapted storyline of the death of Superman, which was about the death and the return of our favorite hero. This movie was a hit because it offered us the realities of Superman's weaknesses, and today we shall have a look at all the characters who featured in the movie. We are going to discuss them deeply, then touch on the people who were responsible in voicing them and where they might be in 2025. We start with the main character known as Clark Kent, or Kal-El, and his alter ego known to all as Superman. He arrived from Krypton to Earth and was adopted in Smallville. He then became the premium hero and protector of Metropolis. Just as from the comics, he got his power from the sun. And his ultimate powers included heat vision, super hearing. He had enhanced vision, X-ray vision, he could fly, he was purely invulnerable, super strength, superhuman stamina, superhuman speed, freeze breath. He could live longer than regular humans, and his most powerful ability being a man of indomitable will, which meant that he had a powerful spirit which was free of corruption and temptation. A god who was voiced by Adam Baldwin, an American actor who is a full-time actor and sometimes voice actor, and has appeared in very many movies and series. Lois Lane was one of the major reporters for the Daily Planet who worked alongside Clark, and were both of love interest to each other. She was a professional journalist who was so skilled in her field, and was always the one handling complicated stories and news. Her main task was dodging LexCorp in her constant attempts to expose the dark and the true deeds behind Lex Luthor. She was voiced by Anne Heche, who was an American actress that was married in 2001, had one child, and sadly passed away on 11th of August 2022 from a car accident at a young age of 53 years. There was this robot which always helped Clark in the Fortress of Solitude, and was just a supporting character in the film. It was voiced by the amazing Tom Kenny, a legendary voice actor and comedian who is now blessed with 2 children. Lex Luthor was a man who referred to himself as the undisputed ruler of Metropolis. He was Superman's rival, and was always in unquenchable thirst to defeat the Man of Steel. He always donated money to police stations and other organizations as a way of bribing them into letting him do whatever he wanted. And later, when Superman was destroyed by Doomsday, Lex felt empty because he always thought that he would be the one who would defeat him. And it was the famous James Marsters who voiced him, an American actor, musician, and audiobook narrator. When Superman landed on Earth, he was adopted by a woman known as Martha Kent and her husband. She was the one who named him Clark, and was the one who instilled morals and goodwill in him. And after Superman left to go work for the Daily Planet, Martha lived alone in Smallville and Clark always visited her once in a while. She was voiced by Swoosie Kurtz, who is an American actress who has already won an Emmy Award and 2 Tony Awards. Lex Luthor had an assistant known as Mercy Graves, and not much is known about her. Her hair was blonde and her eyes were blue, and it was the iconic Cree Summer who voiced her. James Bartholomew Olsen, known best as Jimmy Olsen, was a photographer who always traveled with Lois when she was covering a story. And in this particular film, he was voiced by Adam Wiley, who is an American actor and a professional magician, and can also be identified as the former Crayola spokesman. Perry White was the editor of the Daily Planet, and was known to always stick up for his reporters, unless they reached his deadlines. He was a steadfast American with a true sense of justice and journalistic integrity, and always surrounded himself with the best writers of Metropolis. He was voiced by Ray Wise, who is an American actor, best known as Leland Palmer in Twin Peaks. Winslow Schott, best recognized as Toyman, appeared in a few scenes and was not a major villain in the movie. He had a childlike demeanor, who always viewed everyone around him as toys and action figures. He loved tormenting his captives, but his fetish was cut short when Superman appeared and stopped him for good. He was voiced by the legendary John DiMaggio, a cartoon voice actor icon who is almost everywhere in Cartoon Network shows. Damon Swank was another supporting character, who was an executive with the National Voyeur, which was based in Metropolis. He was voiced by Chris Cox, an American voice actor who mostly does the voices of video game characters. And finally, there was Dr. Murphy, who was seen working on a project called Apple Core. She passed away before the film ended, and it was the magical voice of Kimberly Brooks which voiced her, and is an American voice actress who started voice acting in video games ever since the mid-1990s. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.